So I watched Totally Killer this weekend, and for a horror movie, it's pretty good. But here's my question that happens during time travel movies, and I guess it's a little bit of a gripe that people have. People say is that, oh, if you interacted with your kid when you were young, how come you don't remember them when they get older? And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, you were that kid that I was running with back in the day. Like if 17-year-old Sean was interacting with my daughter at 17, like she learned to time travel, and she time travels back to when I was 17. I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't even remember, and neither would you. Like, do you remember everybody that you interacted with? Like, for the sake of the movie, yeah, I guess it makes sense because you're seeing the older version of that character, and then all of a sudden they're the younger version of the character. So in the concept of like maybe an hour and a half, you would remember who they are. You'd be, oh yeah, they should remember. But you also got to understand that, like, from the time that you're seeing them as a kid version, which is 16, 17 years old, and then you got to fast forward another 25, 30 years, I'm not going to remember anybody that I interact with. None of us have that type of memory when we just like, oh, I remember faces really well, like very, very well, that if I interacted with you when I was a kid, that surely like 30 years later, I would remember exactly who you were 100%. I can go to Starbucks every day for like the next 2 months and I may not remember a single face, even though that's the same person who has helped me every single time. That's just a weird, like, nonsensical, like, gripe that is only reserved from CinemaSins, and it is, I find it completely dumb. What do you think? Am I wrong in my assessment here?